Hi Chinook, this is Mrs. Mesher, and I'm going to talk to you about the need for reliable information sources and how you can use databases that we as a school district own called ProQuest and NEWSELA in order to do high quality research for your social studies class. So how many of you have ever seen these words? Misinformation, breaking news, fake news, real news, reliable, viral, literacy, propaganda. I would assume all of you have seen these in some capacity. These have been on the news, they've been on social media, we hear them in class, maybe haven't heard propaganda. But we've heard a variety of these words all around in our public communication. And part of this is that there's so much fake information out there that it is hard to determine if what you're reading is real, accurate, or reliable. And so we as researchers, need to focus on reliable sources. So today I'm going to show you how to use some reliable sources, particularly ones called NEWSELA, or sometimes teachers might call it NEWSELA. They're both, I don't know, I've heard them both. And one called ProQuest. Finding reliable sources takes the time. And you know what? We need to take the time to be reliable and awesome. As a researcher, and that's you all, anybody in a science or language arts or social studies class or design and engineering or a human being that gets news, you function as a researcher. So as a researcher, you need to pay attention to what you're reading, who the intended audience is, and whether or not the source is reliable, all at the same time. And you know what? That's a little bit mind-blowing. So you need to take the time and slow down. One way that you could help yourself and make it a little bit easier to take the time to find reliable resources is to use something called a database. A database, and sometimes people might call it a database, is an online set of reliable information for research purposes provided by a subscription service. It is not like a CIA database with criminals. It's not a database of your school identifying numbers. This is a set of reliable information for research purposes provided by a subscription service. You as students cannot access these articles outside of a database because they're protected by firewalls. And those firewall is something put in place by publishing companies to make sure that people pay for their resources, and that's what pays journalists. As a school district, we pay the subscription service. And so it's free to you to find this information. You don't have to pay for it. You just have to slow down, take the time, and go to the database. We're going to talk about two different types of databases. Number one is called NEWSELA or NEWSELA. Many of you have probably read articles that have been assigned to you, but you can also search in NEWSELA or NEWSELA to find articles. We're also going to use ProQuest. ProQuest, as opposed to NEWSELA, is divided into some sub-databases. ProQuest is a suite of curated content. So suite means it's a variety of content edited for our target audiences. SIRS Discoverer is the one that I recommend for students in grades 3 through 8. It's designed for middle school students. ProQuest is the one that most teachers use in college. It's designed for students grades 8 through up. You could find information and articles in both, and both are reliable, but I recommend SIRS Discoverer in middle school. To get to both, you log in through your Classlink. To get to NEWSELA from Classlink, you click on the NEWSELA button. It's the blue button with the white lines that says NEWSELA. Yours might look a little bit different because you are a student, I'm the librarian, but it's essentially the same. Many of you, well, sometimes you'll get those, but not always. Some of you will have a landing page. You might have some articles, but on this side, you can search for, and it'll say, what do you want to read instead of what do you want to teach? So you can search for your topic for social studies, so Native Americans, and find an article that might best represent what you're looking for in class. So you'll see the publish date at the bottom. As a teacher, I can assign it. You will not be able to assign it to other people. You can click on the article if this is something that you want to read. And you can see the original publishing company, the author, and when it was published. One of the things that's wonderful about NEWSELA is that you can read it aloud, and you can change the reading level. So maybe you're a student who needs just a little bit of reading support. You can change the reading level to something that better fits you. And then when you read the article, the content is the same, but the readability is a little bit different. So that is how to use NEWSELA. To access ProQuest, you need to click on ProQuest. Now, because I have logged in before, sometimes I don't have this login screen. If you do get a login screen, the username is HighlinePS and the password is Burian98. And I will put that in our slideshow. This is the same for every single student in the Highline School District. You're going to click on Login, and it will show you the options that are available to you. Culturegrams, eLibrary, History Study Center, ProQuest, ProQuest Learning Literature, and SIRS Discoverer. The one that I strongly recommend that you use for social studies class for this research assignment is SIRS Discoverer. It is designed for students in grades 3 through 8. That means the reading level of these articles are going to be perfect for middle school students. When you pull up SIRS Discoverer, you can see some trending topics. So these are just like hot topics that you can research. Editor's picks, so things that the editor of SIRS Discoverer thinks that you might be interested in. Controversial issues, maybe you have to write a research paper on something controversial for language arts. But in the search box, you type in what the search term is and click search. You will see our results page. You can change the way your article sorts. The default sort is by relevance. That means that what SIRS Discoverer thinks is going to be the most of interest. I recommend searching by changing the sort to most recent. And you can see that suddenly we've got articles from February 1st, 2021. Or History's Forgotten Barrier Baker, 2020. So you can see the different designing dresses for honor. So you can open up and see what the article is about. From here, you can see the author's name, the original publication, when it was published, which that's all things that you need for a research assignment, and also the Lexile score, so the reading level. SIRS Discoverer has a read out loud feature and allows you to save the PDF to your computer and to the cloud, which means into your Google Drive. This is awesome, especially for any student who uses a hotspot or whose family is all working from home or learning from home and everybody's on the internet at the same time. At my house, when we're all on the internet at the same time, our computers like crash or sometimes we lose what we're reading. If I can save what I'm working on and I don't have to access the internet, that'll help everything just go a little bit faster, or I can get back to it later. You can also cite the article, and it will automatically pull up MLA8, which is what we want, and then you copy that into your assignment. So if your teacher asks you to cite your source, that's all you have to do. You just go into your SIRS Discoverer, find your article, click cite, and copy, and then paste it into your document. It's very easy. So SIRS Discoverer is the one that I recommend from ProQuest. If you wanted to try ProQuest, those articles are designed for high school and college researchers, so they're going to be much more high level. However, they're amazing resources. There's newspapers from all around the country, from all around the world, not just country, in a variety of languages, covering all sorts of topics under the sun. So you're also welcome to try SIRS Discover. Okay, I hope that those answer your questions and this is helpful. If you need if you have questions, you can always ask me or your teachers, and we can figure it out. All right, good luck. Don't forget to take the time.